Hey everyone, the old nerve guy here. Let's go a little beyond installing mod part on a blaster and talk about blaster tuning. Welcome to that. Modding a blaster, tuning a blaster, basically two different things. Very close, they go together, they can't go one without another, but they are different. Modding a blaster will be more like putting a kit inside your blaster when we are for the modding, but installing that kit is only one thing. I will take my Nexus as an example. I install only the first kit from Worker, the one would come with the barrel, the dart gate, and the rail riser, just because it was enough for me. The performance were good enough like that. But above installing this kit, there is the choice of O-ring I'm going to make, the choice of lube. Some blaster require a little more. Let's talk about the Swift. The Swift was not a nightmare, but somewhere close. When it came to tuning, you had to choose the right O-ring at the right position at one point with the stock plunger. Plus the original dart gate was really not good. They changed it for a metal one, which was slightly better, until I ended up with the Swin kit. And that Swin kit came with a rather soft spring, but rather good performance for that spring. I then made a few more tests to check everything. I tried to swap the spring, the plunger wasn't compatible, so I reused the stock plunger with my original Swift spring that came with it. And going with my original number that I had with my Swift, this one was shooting higher. But it was not the spring, because the one coming with it was closer to the 1.4, and just swapping the plunger was not really changing the performance themselves. Meaning everything would have to go on the O-ring choice that I had made, that I was using on the original installation, and my lube, and probably that barrel. And I decided to make a match with the 550mm barrel from the Swift from Worker, the one that came with the 1.6 spring, and compare those numbers. I ended up with higher number with the Swin barrel on, meaning it's the barrel that was doing the trick. After close analysis, it's easy to note that if the measurements are right, the Swin barrel is 15.95 outside diameter, which doesn't really matter for us, but the inner diameter was 13.05, like a little more than 13, but not enough not to seal, but just enough to remove friction on your dart, and that's probably where the performance was coming from. So today I'm gonna run the same kind of little experiment, but this time on my Nexus. This Nexus got, like I said, only the first kit from Worker on it with a Worker barrel. It is sealing rather good. I don't have problem with it. It is really working well. I don't exactly remember the performance, but I think it was 165, 170-ish. With the stock spring, no spacer on it, just the first kit from Worker. But the little math calculation I made on this plunger allowed me to have almost something very close to 350mm for this barrel. Unfortunately, Worker make a 368. I would be able to cut it, but I want to have a nice one-piece barrel on my blaster. Meaning today, I'm gonna go and install a 350mm Swin barrel on it, because I made tests off camera with a ghost barrel of 350mm, and it was dropping my performance to 140, which is not normal, because optimally this thing is supposed to be able to have comfortably 350mm of barrel inside of it. Therefore, I'm gonna go with the next higher brand out there, which is gonna be Swin. With a Swin barrel, on top of that, I'm gonna have the little quick attach notch to put my stainless steel wire scar on the tip of my Nexus. Let's go check this barrel, and I'm gonna run a chronograph stock as it is right now with this barrel, and then we're gonna run the same chronograph with the same exact blaster without modification with the 350 millimeter Swin barrel to see if there is really that much of a difference, if there is any gain, any loss. We're gonna check that. That is part of blaster tuning. So chrono test for the Nexus 310 millimeter worker barrel. Those are ghost dart inside of it. I never tried a ghost dart with this blaster. It's gonna be fun to see the result. Oh, maybe an outlier. Yeah, pretty much what I was expecting, 165-ish. Was the average 162 because of that outlier, but if you remove this one, this blaster is pretty regular with its worker barrel. It's gonna be time to swap this nice Swin barrel. Let me refocus that for you. We have the measurement here. It's a 13.05 millimeter inner diameter, and on the outer diameter is 15.95, which is interesting. It's a hair smaller than the regular 16 by 13, and it's a hair bigger inside. But that little more space inside removes some friction. So I'm expecting 5-10 FPS gain with this barrel, even if it's longer, because the plunger tube and stroke movement in this blaster allows for it. And having this barrel, I will be able to fit my Rifling Swin stainless steel wire scar barrel on it, because this is a quick connect, and this quick connect is present on this barrel. The little thing with blaster tuning is that you do what you need to do. And for this one, I had fun with swapping the barrel, but I've made myself a quick disconnect setup on my dart gate to be able to tune my barrel. So this barrel swap is not gonna be very difficult, assuming it fit, and it's a bit loose compared to a worker one. And that barrel is firmly in place. Okay, now let's see if 1, my calculations were right, and 2, if this barrel give me any upgrade on this blaster. Ghost dart again, but this time 350 millimeter Rifling Swin barrel. Well, that is very impressive. I mean, wow, those numbers. 191 max, 180 minimum, and an average of 186 without any spacer, just adding the right size of barrel, and I guess something magical probably happening with the inner diameter of this one. But this is cool. That's the kind of result you can expect with a little homework and a little tuning on your blaster, like going beyond installing a mod part on your blaster. Well, so apparently those Swin barrels are really good, because swapping one barrel without anything else on my blaster gave me a 10 to 20 FPS increase. I know I put slightly longer, maybe it was more tuned to the volume of air inside, but those Swin barrels have some kind of magic, zero friction on them. Plus, I can now put my long scar barrel on this thing, which give it a crazy good look. I mean, this blaster look really awesome. I wish this thread was a little bit more bright like this scar barrel on it, since they're the same brand. But this dark red is going to look really good on my CNC Viper, because yes, I cut myself one of those barrels to make myself a custom Viper barrel. This is really good. It's a good example that tells you that do a little homework, choose your stuff properly according to your need, tune it to the way you want, and you see, just a little hole allows me to quickly swap the barrel without a big hassle of opening the whole shell just for it. This is what personal tuning on your blaster will do. It will put them to what you want, and you will be able to extract every inch of performance out of them if you just do your homework, do some research before just installing a part inside of it. Yeah, I think that's it for this small video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at ThatOldNerveGuy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to notify for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.